Another day, another problem with the LRT. A new issue arises, and now at least one councillor is pushing for an independent review of the entire system. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan. LRT users facing more frustration today just when they thought the system was set to recover from Wednesday's ice storm. A new issue with light rail is bringing heavy concerns. Further east along Line 1, more broken wires. CTV's Kimberly Fowler is live outside Blair Station. And so, Kimberly, this is a similar issue that we saw at Leeds, but now the same problem is surfacing at Tremblay Station and Blair, where you are, correct?
Yeah, that's right, Steph. So we're here at Blair Station, and it is getting a lot busier right now. We've got the R1 replacement buses behind me and tons of commuters getting set to get on these buses this hour. Again, this is as close as we can get at Blair Station to the new issue. We've got a stopped train. If you take a look at the wires there, you can see the bottom one is like a little bit more slack than the others. This is what the new issue is, another broken wire, and crews will be working to fix this issue today and heading into tomorrow. The problem started on Wednesday when an overhead power line sparked and broke off at a separate station during the freezing rainstorm, and crews completed those repairs. Full service was expected to resume this morning, but again, now we have these new problems.
I was waiting for the bus at U Ottawa last night, and there was 50 students waiting, and I was like, I'm not even going to get on the bus, so I actually just ended up walking.
Super unfortunate that all this stuff keeps happening with the trains, and hopefully it gets better soon.
Every single day I'm getting closer and closer just buying a car.
This morning, there were two more power issues along Line 1, resulting in 3 stopped trains between Leeds and Blair Station, and one train here at Blair Station where the overhead wire snapped, forcing OC Transpo to keep the entire eastern portion closed, and that created chaos on the morning commute with replacement R1 buses running.
What we're seeing in terms of the damage to these 2 additional parts of the OCS, very similar to what happened at Leeds Station. So there was some extreme arcing, and I think it's also important to note that when we're dealing with weather conditions and when there's ice buildup on the catenary, arcing is something that does happen. It's when it's extreme and prolonged that it creates this problem.
Crews are out working in the afternoon to remove the stopped trains that were stalled between Leeds and Blair Station. But OC Transpo says it will run empty trains along the line to ensure it's safe before fully restoring service along Line 1. Now, there is no exact timeline of when the LRT is set to reopen. Again, repairs will be going on into tomorrow. And late this afternoon, when OC Transpo said they were asked that if they would consider shutting down the LRT preemptively for any type of weather event, be it freezing rain, if they would do that preemptively. But OC Transpo said that it is something that they won't take lightly, but it is something that they would consider in the future. Steph.
All right, hoping for the best. A lot of transit users depending on that system. CTV's Kimberly Fowler reporting live for us. Thank you, Kimberly. Well, March break is now officially here, and if you're headed on a road trip, you can expect higher gas prices in the days ahead. Drivers got a bit of a break when prices went down overnight between Wednesday and Thursday, but they are back up again today, with many stations hovering around the $1.55 mark for a liter of regular. Many in the nation's capital are getting set for March break holidays, traveling not only in cars but also on planes and trains. And officials are reminding those who are to be sure to pack patience and your proper ID, as many flights and trains are busy over the next few days. CTV's Kimberly Johnson joins us live now in studio with more on this. Kimberly.
Stefan, I visited both Via Rail and the airport today in Ottawa, and things were moving smoothly for travelers earlier today. But with Toronto getting hit with a snowstorm, officials are reminding you to make sure that you double check before you head out. Via Rail officials say March break travel is a busy time for their trains. The Quebec City to Windsor corridor has several trains operating at capacity right now, while the Ottawa airport says its busiest flights are to sunny destinations and out west to skiing. Many families I spoke with today say that they are heading for destinations worldwide as the student break begins.
We are headed to Phoenix,
BC, and then to Washington tomorrow, and then back to BC, then back to Washington.
We are going to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Amazing. It was a last-minute thing. We actually just booked it last night.
We're just going on a family fun ski trip to Newfoundland, Marble Mountain, to avoid the crowds at Tremblant. So we're really looking forward to East Coast hospitality.
As mentioned, Pearson Airport is seeing dozens of cancellations and delays in a winter storm that has affected flights and travel. The Ottawa Airport is also seeing a number of delays as well this afternoon, and there is snow in the forecast for Ottawa. Airport officials are reminding flyers to always check your flight status online before you leave. And if you are heading out over the next few days, they say to remember your travel documents and especially your ID, like your passport, if you're flying internationally, to make your trip as smooth as possible. Stefan.
Certainly. CTV's Kimberly Johnson reporting live for us. Thank you, Kimberly. A new survey from Nanos Research for CTV News found that 43% of Canadians are less likely to travel to the U.S. in 2026 compared to the previous year. 38% of respondents said they don't vacation in the U.S. In general, 14% said they vacation the same, and just 4% said they are likely to spend more leisure time south of the border. Nanos expects Canadian tourism will benefit in 2026 with an uptick in domestic vacations. This because of the political climate, tourists prioritizing safety, and several Canadians cutting their travel budget back. Well, the city of Clarence-Rockland is looking at transit options, including a partnership with OC Transpo. The Eastern Ontario city is about a 40-minute drive to downtown Ottawa, but there's currently no direct transit that links the municipality to the nation's capital. This week, Clarence-Rockland City Council tabled a motion to start discussions with the City of Ottawa to see if a link is possible with OC Transpo.
Our goal right now is to look at options ranging from intercity to links to the train. And obviously OC Transpo fits into that, conversation. It could look like anything from a park and ride at the edge of town to conversations about them coming into Ottawa.
While it's still early, the update, welcome news for the area. While she has a vehicle herself, resident Lorraine Roy knows the challenges of relying on a non-existent transit firsthand from friends and neighbors. Roy says some people are forced to call a taxi to get groceries or to go to the hospital. Prime Minister Mark Carney is in northern Norway today, observing a military demonstration as part of NATO's exercise cold response. "25,000 troops are taking part in the joint NATO exercises aimed at enhancing the alliance's military abilities in the Arctic. The Prime Minister is also meeting with the Prime Minister of Norway and the Chancellor of Germany. He'll also travel to the United Kingdom, where he'll meet with King Charles and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. A worker was injured this morning on Parliament Hill at Centre Block while working in a construction area at the site. The worker had to be hoisted by a crane to a waiting ambulance. Ottawa paramedics say the worker suffered blunt force trauma at around 8 o'clock this morning, but the injuries are not considered life-threatening. The worker was in an area of the work site that was difficult to access with a stretcher.
The crane operator allowed us to load all our equipment into a very large steel box that was hoisted all the way to the patient as our paramedics made their way on foot.
The worker was loaded into the same metal box on a stretcher and hoisted out of the area where he was assessed and sent to hospital in stable condition. Deschamps says the extraction took around 30 minutes to do safely. Stores across Ontario could soon open on 2 holidays here in this province, Victoria Day and Family Day.
As someone who was a customer service worker, I think that being at home is more important than being at work.
I don't even celebrate both of those holidays, so I think they should be open. I mean, it's nothing exciting at all.
The provincial government says the changes would allow retailers to choose to stay open on those holidays. The province says retail employees would earn time and a half pay on top of full public holiday pay if they work on those days, but there is some pushback.
It's called Family Day for a reason. It's not Let's Go Shopping Day. Workers in retail, they have families too. And we have lots of opportunities to shop during the week. There's a lot of time to go to stores. Those families deserve to have some time together.
The Ontario government is aiming to have the new rules in effect in time for this year's Victoria Day on May 18th.
He's also walked a couple of times, and he crushes this one deep to right. Abraham Toro doubles the lead for Canada.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, from Olympic hockey to international baseball, cheering on Team Canada tonight against the U.S. and the World Baseball Classic. And our Jackie Perez is joining us live in studio with the first check on the forecast. Jackie.
Well, Stefan, if you are watching this baseball classic, you might want to do it at home because we are anticipating snow moving through the region. We're already seeing that weather system really impact the greater Toronto area and parts of southern Ontario with that wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, and snow. We haven't quite seen that here in Ottawa, but it is on its way within the next few hours. So we're keeping a very close eye right now around the region, sitting around -1, -3 degrees as well. Overnight conditions about -1, so we'll still have around the freezing mark, but we are anticipating between 5 to 10 centimeters of snow well into tomorrow morning. It won't be until the afternoon we will likely see a pause in this snow. We'll have a closer look at your forecast in just a bit.
Thank you, Jackie. Here's what you need to know. You can experience skating on the Ottawa Senators' home ice next week at the Canadian Tire Centre. The rink will be open for March break. Public skating sessions are happening between March 17th and 20th. You can book at time slot and buy tickets on their website. A live check on traffic right now. Very slow going in the westbound lanes of the Queensway around Churchill. Things start to ease around Woodruff on the westbound lanes, but there is some volume in both directions along the main corridor of the Queensway approaching the downtown. Stay with us. Welcome back to CTV News at 5. Right now, we're going to dig a little deeper into some news we shared earlier in the broadcast. The Ford government is looking at changes to retail shopping rules on 2 provincial holidays. It wants to let retailers stay open if they choose to on Victoria Day and Family Day. Today's radio question of the day is asking, should Ontario stores be able to open on Family Day and Victoria Day?
I've worked retail practically all my life, and you really don't have a choice as a manager. So I do believe that we need to keep that in place. Holidays need to be for family and downtime because let's be realistic, managers and other staff don't have that luxury.
Christy Cameron is here with more. And Christy, it sounds like you had a few listeners weigh in on this one.
We did, and actually surprisingly, most of them were with Gwyn. They're really against this. And I understand it. You know, I think a lot of people have worked retail jobs. I know I have. It can be quite miserable working on the 24th. And then you come back in on Boxing Day. You work a lot of the holidays. So this is being presented by the Ford government as a choice. Well, you can choose to take a shift that day if you want to work the extra Family Day and Victoria Day. But often it's not actually a choice. You're being scheduled and you're being told. So I feel terrible for the workers that are probably going to end up losing on this.
Yeah, I kind of don't mind it because it is a choice, but I understand it from a traditional retail perspective. If it's a mall, then you're going to be scheduled. You're going to open the mall as a manager. But if you're a small business owner that maybe wants to earn a little extra money on those days and serves a certain neighborhood, like the local butchery, maybe that would work in your favor. But
then you're also paying the employees time and a half to come in. And I don't know that a lot of small business owners in this economy would be able to do that. I mean, case-by-case basis. Here's the thing. Here's my proposal. Maybe close one, open the other. I work Family Day, so I mean, I don't care if the malls are.
We're still here.
Sure, I'll go and shop on Family Day. Bring your family and go shop. But Victoria Day weekend, I'm really protective about that one.
Yeah.
You know, that's meant to be a celebration. It's the unofficial kickoff of summer. People go camping and they open the cottage. Fireworks.
I just need to plan ahead and not want to buy my steaks the day of, right, Christy?
Yeah, well, come on. Plan it out.
Thank you, Christy. You can join the conversation, leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. And now watch Christy's segments on YouTube. Subscribe to the News Talk 580 CFRA channel. Coming up on CTV News at 5, a new high-rise residential building is being proposed in Little Italy. More details on that project just ahead. Here's what else you need to know. The Youth Infringement Festival is happening now until March 21st at the Arts Court Theatre. It's a free, open-access performing arts festival for Ottawa youth ages 16 to 25 to develop and produce original work. Visit their website for details. We'll be right back. Coming up tonight on CTV, E-Talk starts at 7, The Big Bang Theory at 7:30, Celebrity Jeopardy at 8, Happy's Place at 9, Stumble at 9:30, and Boston Blue at 10. Now for another check on the weather forecast, let's bring back Jackie, who's live in studio with us tonight.
Well, Stefan, taking a look outside, you could already see the light flurries moving through here, at least in downtown Ottawa, and it is going to start to pick up by the time we get into later this evening. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. So pretty cloudy. The visibility is starting to reduce because of those light flurries moving through, and it is a pretty nice view through Kaweki Point. Current temperature is sitting around -2 right now, and this gives you a closer idea of where we can expect this weather system moving through. So around 6 o'clock, that's when we're going to start to see more heavier snow really picking up. Look at this active weather system that is moving through Lake Ontario. It's a mix of that thunderstorms, also heavy rain, freezing rain. But for the most part, for here in Eastern Ontario, we will likely see more of that heavy snow. The key times for this is between 8 o'clock and around midnight, where we could see anywhere between 5 to 10 centimeters. This will still continue tomorrow morning waking up. So you might want to delay your commute to save some time to shovel and clear the sideways and the driveways and make time for the roads to clear as well. Saturday afternoon, probably the ideal time because that's when we will see the break from the snow. But the winds will also start to pick up as well. Wind gusts up to 40 kilometers per hour, and this is coming from the northwest, so it's going to be quite cool, quite brisk. We're only getting to a daytime high of about -1, and it's going to be much warmer tonight than what we see tomorrow. The chance of flurries will also linger as well into Sunday, but meanwhile in the valley, -4 overnight. Again, heavy snow moving in. Periods of snow will continue into the afternoon for the valley. Daytime high around 0 tomorrow. Daytime high for the Seaway around 1 degree. So really much of Eastern Ontario will be sitting around 0 and 1 degree for our Saturday. Now, -13 is going to be the overnight low, and this is where it gets tricky because of all the snow that moves through. It could be freezing over. Sunday, the periods of snow could return. This is likely going to be in the afternoon, where we could see anywhere between 1 to 3 centimeters of snow. And keep an eye here as well. 15 degrees Monday, the daytime high, and this could affect how we see the roads and the conditions for the morning commute.
Weather is brought to you by Manotick Tree, complete tree care from start to stump.
So, Stefan, we are not quite done with Mother Nature yet. That snow really moving through. It really is going to return for Sunday and Monday. While we will see 15-degree weather, we are anticipating rainfall to move through.
All right, thank you, Jackie. Some people said they had a bone to pick with you earlier. I said it's not her fault. She's
not my fault.
She's just a messenger. Thank you. Here's a look at the stories you're checking out right now on ctvnewsottawa.ca. If you're looking for things to do over the March break, our digital team has you covered. Go to our homepage. You can find the article right there. Of course, you can head to any of the local sugar shacks right around the region. They'd be happy to see you. If you're into hockey, the Senators play. The 67s are playing. If you're into music or the arts, the National Arts Centre has a lot to offer, as well as the Bronson Centre. The International Film Festival is on. So if you're looking for something to do for the family, ctvnewsottawa.ca has a full list.
Obviously really exciting. It's just like 20 minutes from where I grew up.
Coming up for us here on CTV News at 5, the Ottawa Senators will be heading to Europe as part of the NHL's efforts to grow the game overseas. If you need gas heading into the weekend, one of today's cheapest gas prices can be found at the Esso and Circle K station on Baseline Road in Nepean. Regular gas there is listed for 147.9 cents a liter.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Temperature right now, -2. And it's time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
I was waiting for the bus at Lake Ottawa last night, and there was like 50 students waiting. And I was like, I'm not even going to get on the bus, so I actually just ended up walking.
More problems for OC Transpo's Line 1 LRT service continues to be disrupted following a new issue with a broken wire. More on the possible extreme solution tonight.
Today will be, yet again, the highest volume of strikes that America has put over the skies of Iran and Tehran.
The U.S. Secretary of War says the United States is decimating Iran's military capabilities and will keep the pressure on.
We're just going on a family fun ski trip to Newfoundland, Marble Mountain, to avoid the crowds at Tremblant. So we're really looking forward to East Coast hospitality.
And one of the busiest travel periods of the year begins as March break kicks off for tens of thousands of students and families. All of that and more is coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other stories we're following. Residents braved the frigid water at Britannia Beach this afternoon for a polar plunge. The event was organized by CARES Disability Services, an organization supporting people living with disabilities. Funds raised today will support accessible family camp experiences and other community inclusion programs. A developer is proposing to build a residential tower at 116 Beach Street near Champaign Avenue, south in the Little Italy area. It would be a 25-story building with nearly 400 units and more than 100 underground parking spaces. The site is currently a 3.5-story apartment building with a surface-level parking lot.
Obviously really exciting. It's just like 20 minutes from where I grew up, so it'd be awesome and just kind of show the boys around Germany.
The Ottawa Senators are going international. The NHL announcing today the team will be taking to the ice in Germany this December. They'll face the Chicago Blackhawks twice in Dusseldorf, a short distance from the Sens' leading point scorer, Tim Stützle's hometown.
Stützle as Giroux knocks it down on the boards. Got it in tight. Batherson, another chance, scores!
And the Ottawa Senators are playing 2 back-to-back home games this weekend as they continue their push for a playoff spot. The team takes on the Anaheim Ducks tomorrow afternoon at the Canadian Tire Centre. Puck drop is set for 1 p.m. and they're back at it on Sunday with a game on home ice against the San Jose Sharks at 5 p.m.
It's also walked a couple of times, and he crushes this one deep to right. Abraham Toro doubles the lead for Canada.
Team Canada is set to square off against the U.S. in the quarterfinals of the World Baseball Classic tonight. Canada advanced to the tournament's knockout round for the first time with a 7-2 win over Cuba. First pitch for tonight's game against Team USA is set for just after 8 p.m. in Houston. That's CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join Patricia Bull for CTV News at 6. The early edition of National starts now.